Hello, everybody. This is Arlene Clear, and I am going to be showing you a few things about my class in the Olympia School District. To begin, we're going to look at the portal, which is where kids and parents can get to Schoology. This is where their mail is typically up here, and Skyward, where the actual final grades are posted. In Schoology, it's that little round S circle. You'll see your student has several panes of and icons for their classes. My class looks like this. It says English Language Arts. You click into them, and in my class, the Zoom links are in everything Zoom, including the Zoom meeting norms, how to change your photo for your Zoom profile, office hours for when we're not in a Zoom and you'd like to work with me one-on-one or in a small group or just ask a question. This is where the students created their own norms and expectations in poster form. It's really nice. And here are the Zoom links for the different classes. First period, third period, fourth period, fifth period, and sixth period. For advisory kids, they follow the same process. They're also in my sixth period. This is the advisory link, and the Zoom is in the same format. So I'm going to go back to my ELA class, which is where most of you are, all of you are going to be concerned with. And then advisory is the same process, but much less in terms of work responsibilities. I make my current week folder red, and I point that out to students so they can see easily which one we're working on. If they've been behind on something, all of the assignments are still in the folders down there for them to click on. Something like this, it's just a teacher screen. They don't see this. If it's gray, you can, for the purpose of our screencast here, ignore that because nobody can see that except the teacher. So the red current week folder has instructions for what to do, has an audio file, and generally there's been some Zoom instructions for how to do it, or there will be written instructions or a video sometimes for what to do. And here you see that when, in this case, they're opening an assignment to make annotations right on the assignment, they open it using this Cami, which I had everybody install because the district asked us to do that. It's pretty easy, and I believe they know how to use this, so I'm not going to wait for that to load. And then there is an audio file of an adult reading the audio version of it. And then the reason that there are sometimes what are called assignments in Schoology, but it's not literally an assignment. They have to submit as a Google Doc, is because that's how we give students a digital piece of paper to work with. So there may be multiple steps in a writing process that requires something like a brainstorm and an outline. And those steps, in order to be handed out as a worksheet, need to be handed out as what they call an assignment. Here, this is the assignment, and your students will see this listed as an assignment. However, they should become familiar with the fact that the final assignment is the one that they need to focus on the most. Those are the ones that are worth points. So all summer in a day questions sheet is right here. And they see this slightly differently when they go in, but it will be on there as, it'll be called My Document on yours. So you have, the document is a Google document that as soon as they type on it, it will fill in their answers. So they can type their name right there and put their answers in. We have been getting through most of this work in class during Zooms, and then maybe 15, 20 minutes afterward to finish on their own time. And the instructions for the assignment is right here. In this case, the activity 1 would be to, as I showed you, open up the document using Kami. I showed you that. Use Kami to highlight. I showed you that. And then activity 2 are guided questions. So all of the instructions for that first assignment for the first part of this week are in Schoology. And that is typically the way it is in every week. They need to make sure that, I'll show you again, that when they are done doing an assignment, like this one here, that I just showed you, the question sheet, they need to hit submit. Sometimes kids forget to hit submit. And so here's all the kids that have submitted it that need to be graded. And the kids that have not yet submitted it, they're over here. So sometimes I can look and see either they didn't do it yet or they haven't submitted it yet. So if there's ever a question about whether or not that they liked what they did and they just check to make sure that it's submitted. Now, sometimes students want to redo something because they weren't happy with what they did. They want to add something. All they have to do is hit this unsubmit button, go back in, make the changes, and resubmit. That's super easy, and I think most kids know how to do that pretty well. Let me know if they don't. If the kids just need to let me know. I invite everybody, please, please, please feel free to email me about every little thing. On the documents, there are rubrics typically for you to see the grades. There is this button called Gradebook that you can see. I don't really think I better show you that because it's got people's names in it and grades. But all of these things right here, these are all worth your time to go look at and click these things because this is a school piece of software. You can't rack anything. Go ahead and click right on through there and see different things so that they can be sure to use this to the best of their use, to the best of its usefulness for them. So that is highly encouraged with all of assignments or all kinds of digital work. Click around a little bit, see how you can make it work for you. So I think I want to show you back at the Olympia School District main page next. I'm going to be going back to the OSD home, which is probably the landing page when you log in. For you as parents and guardians, you'll start with a page like this. This is the portal that I just showed you. Has all of the tools that your student uses every day, such as their Zoom links. Well, I don't know if their Zoom links look like that. Mine do. Their Skyward, their Schoology, where they do their remote attendance is probably in there. When we use the Springboard book, that's down there, and we've been over how to use that. But you're going to get into something that's very helpful for you by looking at this landing page for Olympia School District. Go under Families. Go to the thing that says Technology Resources. Excuse me. These are the wonderful, helpful things. The help desk is there for you, staff answering phone calls. Help desk also has an email that they get back to you really quite quickly usually. Chromebook, portal, attendance. How about the Chromebook support page, password reset, how to check for updates, shortcuts, that looks handy, how to get into your Skyward account. And as many of you parents might not be familiar with Schoology yet, directions for getting into Schoology as a parent, navigating parent access and setting up the Parent Digest, and what is Schoology, and video instructions for students. So I think that's pretty helpful. And this is an amazing resource, our help desk technology support. So that is the first two things I want to talk about. The last thing is in Skyward. Skyward is where grades are posted. I don't like to encourage students to think about the work that they do as grades first. I encourage them to think about, the learning involved and the rubric that is handed back out to them with feedback to them on it in terms of the sections of the rubric, so that they can learn from what it is that they've done and not be as focused on a letter grade or a number grade, because kids are welcome and encouraged to redo work if they're not happy with what they did. If they make a change and they feel like it's better, just similar to retaking a test, except in this class, it's typically making changes to a piece of writing and handing it back in. So when you get into Skyward, again, this might look slightly different than theirs, but it's pretty much the same. And when you get in there, the assignments are pretty well laid out for you. When you see an assignment is marked missing, make sure that you ask your student about that. They usually need a reminder to either submit it or to do it. Another thing to look for is comments on the side of the score or the missing score. I will almost always put a comment in there suggesting that when that was due, call me if you have questions, or email me if you have questions, or some other kind of personalized instruction for a bit of a jolt for their memory on what they need to do in order to get that in, if it seems complicated. So you can see those things too. I'll even say, of course, really positive things like, wow, that was amazing. Thank you so much. So I like those comments. I believe they look slightly different in the way that you see them, but they're in there if you click around. Again, the clicking around is a really good thing to do. So that is, I think, all that I want to show you about how to get to the things that you need for Schoology, Skyward, and Zoom. And email me if you have any questions, and definitely take a couple of minutes, and I suggest going to the Olympia School District family homepage on technology just to review some of those things if for any reason you have any questions or you need a review, because I know your lives are busy. Okay, I will see you soon, I hope, and I'm open to talking anytime. Okay, thanks for listening today. Bye-bye.